The scanner beeps its mechanical rhythm under Kendra's hands. Beep, slide. Beep, slide. And she doesn't need to look at the clock mounted above register 3 to know it's 10:58 p.m. Her shift ends in 2 minutes. She can feel it in her shoulders, in the ache behind her eyes, in the way her feet have gone numb inside her second-hand sneakers. The last customer bags his own groceries, mutters something that might be thanks, and disappears through the automatic doors into the Chicago night. Kendra watches the glass fog with his breath, then clear again. It's -8 degrees outside. The news said it might drop to -12 by midnight. Kendra. Mr. Chen appears beside her with a white envelope already sealed. You're weak. She takes it, feels the bills inside. $124. She counts it at the break room table while pulling on her mother's navy winter coat. The fabric worn so thin at the elbows, she can see the fluorescent lights through it. 5 20s, 2 10s, 4 1s. She counts again. Still $124. Rent is $750. Due in 5 days. She has $47 in her bank account. The electric bill is overdue. Terrell needs a winter coat. The heater in their apartment broke 3 days ago, and the landlord said he'd send someone next week. Maybe. Kendra folds the bills into her front pocket and buttons the coat. The missing button at the collar. She replaced it with a safety pin last November. The pin catches light as she moves. Mrs. Patterson's apartment is 2 floors above theirs, and Kendra can hear the television through the door before she knocks. The neighbor opens up in her bathrobe, hair wrapped, reading glasses hanging from a chain around her neck. He's been good, Mrs. Patterson says, stepping aside. Quiet as always. Terrell sits at the kitchen table, math homework spread in front of him, pencil moving in careful lines. He's 12, but looks 14 now, all arms and legs, growing faster than Kendra can keep up with. When he sees her, he grins. Their mothers smile, the one Kendra can barely remember anymore, except when she sees it on his face. Ready? She asks. He stuffs the homework into his backpack and pulls on his jacket. The sleeves end 3 inches above his wrists. He catches Kendra looking and holds up his arms like he's showing off. New style, he says. Gonna start a trend. But when he zips it up, she sees him shiver. The jacket is too small. It's been too small since October. Next week, Kendra says. When I get paid again, we'll get you a new one. She's lying. Next week's pay is already spent. The electric bill they can't ignore anymore. The groceries that need to stretch 14 days. The CTA pass for Terrell's school commute. She does the math in her head while they walk. The numbers that never add up, no matter how many times she rearranges them. The Red Line entrance is 6 blocks from Mrs. Patterson's building. They pass the closed storefronts, the liquor store still open behind security glass. The church with its sign promising salvation and hot meals on Wednesdays. They pass 3 people asking for help. The first is a man outside the liquor store, holding a cardboard sign. Kendra makes eye contact. I'm sorry, she whispers. The second is a woman sitting against the church wall, a dog curled beside her. Kendra's hand moves toward her pocket, but there's nothing there except the rent money she can't touch. I'm sorry. The third is slumped in the doorway of an abandoned laundromat. Kendra can't tell if it's a man or woman under all those layers. She whispers it again. I'm sorry. Terrell doesn't say anything, but she feels his hand find hers. His fingers are cold. The wind hits them at the corner, and Kendra pulls her coat tighter. The fabric is thin, but it's warm. It holds her body heat against the night. She touches the sleeve, the place where the fabric has worn soft from years of wear, and she remembers her mother wearing this same coat. Lorraine Washington, who worked doubles as a home healthcare aide and still found time to make dinner for the elderly couple next door, who gave away her last $20 to a stranger at the bus stop 3 days before she collapsed at work and never woke up. The coat still smells like her mother's lotion sometimes, if Kendra buries her face in the collar. Lavender and cocoa butter. It's the only thing of her mother's that still fits, that still works, that still keeps the cold away. She didn't know that in 20 minutes she would give away the one thing keeping her alive. The subway entrance glows ahead of them, that sickly yellow light that makes everyone look half dead. Terrell starts down the stairs first, and Kendra follows, one hand on the railing, already thinking about tomorrow's shift, about the bills, about the broken heater and how cold their apartment will be tonight. Then she sees the figure, huddled against the tiled wall, just inside the entrance where the wind still reaches. A woman, shaking so violently her whole body seems to vibrate. Layers of clothing that don't match, don't fit, don't help. Gray hair matted against her skull. Hands pulled inside her sleeves, but Kendra can see the fingertips. Blue-tinged, almost purple. The woman's lips are blue. Kendra stops walking. Terrell takes 2 more steps before he realizes she's not following, turns back. Kendra? But she's already moving toward the woman, already unbuttoning her coat, already knowing what she's about to do, even though every rational part of her brain is screaming that this is insane, that she can't, that she'll freeze, that she needs this coat, that it's her mother's coat, that it's all she has. The woman looks up, and their eyes meet. Kendra kneels on the grimy subway tile, her knees pressing against something wet she doesn't want to think about. The woman's chest rises and falls in shallow, irregular movements. Thank God. Still breathing, but barely. Up close, the cold has done its worst work. The woman's hands are pulled inside her sleeves, but the fingertips poking out are purple. The color of bruised fruit left too long in the freezer section at Premium Foods. Kendra has seen this before. Her mother used to come home from her healthcare jobs and talk through her cases at the dinner table, using it as teaching time. Hypothermia stages, confusion, then drowsiness, then nothing. Those purple fingers mean stage 2, maybe 3. Means this woman has maybe an hour before her body just stops trying. Kendra, we're gonna miss the train. Terrell's voice is small, nervous. He's shifting his weight from foot to foot, that thing he does when he's scared but trying not to show it. I know, baby. The woman's eyes are closed, her breathing creating tiny clouds in the frozen air. Her lips have gone past blue into something darker, almost gray. She's wearing layers, but they're all wrong. A summer cardigan over a stained sweatshirt over what looks like a torn dress shirt. Nothing waterproof, nothing thermal, nothing that actually keeps the cold out. It's like wearing paper in a blizzard. Kendra's mind does the math it always does, the survival calculation she's been running since her mother died. The coat on her back is worth maybe $30 at the Salvation Army thrift store on 47th. Maybe 40 if she found the right buyer. It won't cover rent, won't fix the heater, won't buy Terrell that new jacket he needs so desperately. But to this woman, right now, it's worth a life. Kendra's hands move to the zipper before her brain catches up. The sound is loud in the empty subway entrance, metal teeth separating. The cold hits her immediately, knifing through her thin hoodie and the 2 t-shirts layered underneath. Chicago winter doesn't ease in. It attacks. She hesitates for exactly 1 second. 1 second, where she feels the warmth still trapped inside the coat. Her body heat from the walk home, the ghost of her mother's presence in the worn fabric. The safety pin holding the third button closed catches the light. Her mother had sewn that button on 3 times before giving up and using the pin instead. Then Kendra pulls the coat off her shoulders and drapes it over the woman. The woman's eyes snap open, pale blue, startling against her weathered face. Frightened, confused. Her gaze darts from the coat to Kendra's face and back again, like she's trying to solve an equation that doesn't make sense. No. The word comes out the hoarse, barely a whisper. The woman's hands emerge from her sleeves, shaking violently as she tries to push the coat away. No. No. You'll freeze. But Kendra is already zipping it up, pulling the fabric close around the woman's thin frame. The coat swallows her. She's smaller than Kendra's mother was, frailer. Kendra tugs the zipper all the way to the woman's chin, then pulls the hood up over her matted gray hair. I have another one at home, Kendra lies. The words come easy because they need to be true, because this woman needs to believe them, needs to accept this gift without the weight of guilt. The woman stares up at her, speechless. Her blue eyes are wet now. Though whether from cold or something else, Kendra can't tell. She looks like she wants to say something, but her jaw is trembling too hard to form words. Kendra stands, takes Terrell's hand. Her brother's palm is warm against hers. The cold is already seeping through her hoodie, finding every thin spot in the fabric, every gap at her wrists and waist. She wraps her free arm around herself, but it doesn't help. The wind tunneling through the subway entrance finds her anyway. They walk toward the platform, their footsteps echoing. Behind them, Kendra hears a sound that might be the woman trying to call out, but she doesn't turn around. If she turns around, she might take the coat back. If she turns around, she might see her mother's face in that stranger's eyes and break down completely. Terrell stops walking. He's shrugging off his jacket, the navy blue windbreaker that's 2 inches too short in the sleeves and doesn't zip anymore because he's growing so fast. Here, he says, holding it out to her. No. Kendra pushes it back toward him. You need that. But you're shaking. I'm fine. Another lie, but this one's for Terrell. Put it back on. He does, reluctantly, and they continue to the platform. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. Somewhere in the tunnel a train is coming, the sound building like distant thunder. Was that Mama's coat? Terrell asks quietly. Kendra nods. Her throat is too tight to speak. Terrell is quiet for a long moment, watching the tunnel opening where the train will emerge. Then he squeezes her hand. She would have done the same thing. Behind them, in the subway entrance, the woman pulls the coat tighter around herself. The warmth is starting to seep back into her fingers, painful as the blood returns. She watches Kendra and the boy disappear down the stairs toward the platform. Watches until they're completely gone. Then she reaches into the inner layers of her clothing, past the torn dress shirt and the stained sweatshirt, and pulls out a small device. A phone, sleek and expensive, completely incongruous with her appearance. She presses a contact. It rings once. Dr. Okafor, she says, her voice stronger now, carrying an authority that wasn't there moments before. I found her. The apartment is colder inside than the subway platform was. Terrell's breath comes out in visible clouds as they climb the 3 flights of stairs. Their footsteps echo in the stairwell that smells like mildew and someone's burnt dinner. When Kendra unlocks the door to their unit, The air hits them like stepping into a walk-in freezer. "Can we call Mr. Sanchez again?" Terrell asks, already knowing the answer. "I called him 3 times yesterday." Kendra locks the deadbolt behind them. "He said he'll get to it when he gets to it." Their apartment is small. 1 bedroom that Terrell sleeps in, a couch where Kendra unfolds a blanket each night, a kitchenette with a refrigerator that hums too loud, and a bathroom with tiles that were probably white 30 years ago. The radiator in the corner sits silent and useless. It's been broken for 2 weeks. Kendra goes to the tiny closet by the door and reaches for the space where her mother's coat should hang. Her hand touches nothing but empty air and the rough texture of the wall behind. The absence feels enormous. "You should take the blanket tonight," Terrell says. "No." Kendra pulls the only decent blanket from the couch, the blue fleece one that Mrs. Patterson from downstairs gave them last Christmas. "You've got school tomorrow. You need to sleep." She tucks him in, pulling the blanket up to his chin the way their mother used to. Terrell's room is the size of a large closet, but it has a door and a window that looks out onto the fire escape. Kendra kisses his forehead. "Love you," she whispers. "Love you too." She closes his door and returns to the living room. In the closet, she finds 3 sweatshirts, one from a church donation bin, one that used to be Terrell's before he outgrew it, and one with a faded Northwestern logo that she found at Goodwill for $2. She puts them all on, layering them until she looks twice her actual size. The couch cushions are thin and lumpy. Kendra lies down, pulls her knees to her chest, and wraps her arms around herself. Even through 3 layers, the cold seeps in. Her teeth chatter. She clenches her jaw to keep quiet so Terrell won't hear. The window above the couch shows a slice of Chicago sky, orange with light pollution. Somewhere out there, that woman is wearing her mother's coat. Kendra hopes she found somewhere warm to sleep. She hopes the coat is enough. "Mama," she whispers to the empty room. "I hope I did the right thing. I hope she's okay." She reaches out and touches the wall where the coat hook is, running her fingers over the metal. The hook is cold. Everything is cold. Sleep doesn't come for hours. Morning arrives gray and bitter. Kendra's body aches from shivering all night. She makes oatmeal for Terrell with the last of the packets, using water instead of milk because the milk ran out on Tuesday. She walks him to the bus stop, then stops at Mrs. Patterson's apartment on the 2nd floor. Mrs. Patterson answers in her bathrobe, eyes still puffy with sleep. She takes one look at Kendra and disappears into her apartment, returning with a jacket. It's thin, meant for spring, a pale yellow windbreaker that smells like lavender detergent. "Just for today," Kendra promises. "I'll bring it back tonight." "Keep it as long as you need, baby." But Kendra knows she'll return it. Mrs. Patterson needs it too. School is a blur of exhaustion. In chemistry class, 3rd period, Kendra's head drops forward onto her folded arms. The periodic table on the wall swims in her vision. Mr. Chen's voice becomes a distant drone. Something about covalent bonds and electron sharing. Her eyes close. "Ms. Washington?" Kendra jerks awake. Her neck cracks. The classroom erupts in laughter. Someone in the back row makes a snoring sound. "Sorry," she mumbles, her face burning. "Sorry, Mr. Chen." He frowns at her over his glasses, but doesn't write her up. After class, he asks if everything is okay at home. Kendra nods and escapes into the hallway before he can ask anything else. At lunch, Ms. Rivera finds her. The guidance counselor is a small woman with kind eyes and hair pulled back in a neat bun. She sits down across from Kendra in the mostly empty cafeteria. "Kendra, you're one of our brightest students." Ms. Rivera's voice is gentle but firm. "What's going on?" "Just tired, Ms. Rivera." Kendra forces a smile. "I am okay." "Your teachers are concerned. Your grades are slipping." "I'll do better." Ms. Rivera opens a folder. "The scholarship applications for Northwestern are due next month. Full ride, Kendra. Room, board, tuition, everything. You're one of our top candidates." She pauses. "But only if you keep your grades up." Northwestern. The word feels like a dream from someone else's life. "I'll keep them up," Kendra says. "I promise." After school, she goes straight to the grocery store for her shift. She stocks shelves until 10, then takes the bus home, returns Mrs. Patterson's jacket, and climbs the stairs to the cold apartment. Across the city, in a private medical suite on the 40th floor of Northwestern Memorial Hospital, Dr. Imani Okafor stands beside a hospital bed. The room is warm, almost too warm after the cold outside. Machines beep softly. The view through the window shows Lake Michigan, dark and vast under the night sky. Vivienne Cross looks small against the white sheets. Her silver hair has been washed and combed. An IV runs into her left arm. Her face is gaunt, but her blue eyes are alert and focused. "6 months I've been out there," Vivienne says. Her voice is stronger than it was in the subway entrance, carrying the authority of someone used to boardrooms and conference calls. "Hundreds of people walked past me. Thousands, probably. Most didn't even look. Some threw coins. A few gave food." She pauses. "She was the first person who saw me as human." Imani adjusts the IV drip. "You were hypothermic. Another hour and we would have lost you." "I know." Vivienne reaches beneath her pillow and pulls out a folder, navy blue with gold lettering. "The Cross Legacy Initiative. I want it all to go to her." Imani takes the folder, but doesn't open it. "Vivienne, she's 16. "Exactly." Vivienne's smile is tired but certain. "She's 16, and she gave away her mother's coat. Do you understand what that means? Not just any coat. Her mother's coat. I saw the photograph pinned inside the pocket. That girl gave me her last piece of her mother because I was cold. What do you want me to do?" "Everything," Vivienne says. 3 days later, Kendra returns home from work to find a black Mercedes SUV parked outside her building. The vehicle gleams against the grimy street, completely out of place. A well-dressed black woman stands beside it, holding a leather folder. She's wearing wire-rimmed glasses, and her locks are pulled back with a silver clasp. When Kendra approaches, the woman straightens. "Are you Kendra Washington?" Kendra sees the Mercedes before she sees the woman. The SUV gleams like something from another planet, parked outside her building where broken streetlights flicker and trash collects in frozen piles against chain-link fences. Terrell clutches her arm. "Kendra, whose car's that?" "I don't know." But her stomach tightens. Nothing good comes in cars like that. Not to their neighborhood. Not to them. The woman standing beside the vehicle is black, middle-aged, dressed in a wool coat that probably costs more than 3 months of Kendra's rent. She's holding a leather folder. When she sees Kendra approaching, she straightens, and something in her expression makes Kendra's defensive walls slam into place. "Who are you?" Kendra's voice comes out harder than she intends. Her hand finds Terrell's shoulder, protective, What do you want? The woman's face softens. My name is Dr. Imani Okafor. I'm a physician. I need to talk to you about the woman you helped 3 nights ago. The subway. The shivering woman. The coat. Kendra's breath catches. Is she okay? Did something happen to her? She's alive because of you. May I come inside? I promise, I'm not here to cause problems. But we need to talk. You and your brother. Kendra considers lying, saying her aunt is home, but something in Dr. Okafor's eyes tells her it wouldn't work. Just us, she says finally. We're alone. I know. Dr. Okafor's voice is gentle. I'm not from child services. I'm not here to take anyone away. I'm here because of what you did. Inside, the apartment's cold wraps around them immediately. The broken heater sits silent in the corner. Dr. Okafor's eyes travel across the space. The 2 mattresses on the floor, the photograph of a woman with Kendra's eyes hanging on the wall, the nearly empty kitchen. She doesn't say anything, but Kendra sees her throat work. They sit at the small table. Terrell hovers near Kendra's chair. The coat you gave that woman, Dr. Okafor begins. It was your mother's? Yes. Kendra's voice is barely a whisper. It was all I had left. Well, that and the picture. Why did you give it away? Because she needed it more than I did. The answer comes automatic, the way her mother taught her. Dr. Okafor opens the folder. The woman you helped is named Vivienne Cross. Does that name mean anything to you? Kendra shakes her head. Terrell leans closer, curious. Dr. Okafor pulls out a tablet, taps the screen, turns it toward them. News articles fill the display. Reclusive tech billionaire missing for 6 months. Cross Technologies, the AI revolution that changed everything. Photographs show an elegant white woman with silver hair standing in front of glass buildings, shaking hands with presidents. I don't understand, Kendra says. Vivienne Cross built Cross Technologies from nothing 30 years ago. Her company revolutionized artificial intelligence. She's worth $47 billion. She's the 12th richest woman in America. The numbers don't compute. Kendra stares at the screen, at the woman in the photographs who looks nothing like the shivering figure in the subway entrance. That can't be the same person. It is. Dr. Okafor swipes to another article. 6 months ago, Vivienne disappeared. No one knew where she went. Her board of directors, her lawyers, everyone was looking for her. She pauses. She was on the streets, living homeless, on purpose. Why? Terrell's voice is small. She's dying. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. She has no children, no close family she trusts. She wanted to find someone worthy of inheriting everything she built. Not someone who performed kindness for cameras or tax breaks. Someone who helped when no one was watching, when there was no reward. Dr. Okafor's eyes lock on Kendra's. Someone who would give away their mother's coat because a stranger was cold. The room tilts. Kendra grips the edge of the table. You're saying she was testing people? For 6 months, hundreds of people walked past her. Some threw change. A few brought food. Most ignored her completely. Dr. Okafor leans forward. You were the first person who gave her something that cost you everything. You saw her as human. You treated her with dignity. Kendra can't finish the sentence. Her throat is closing. Vivienne has established something called the Cross Legacy Initiative. Legal documents, trustees, a complete framework. Dr. Okafor's voice is steady, but her eyes are bright. She wants you to inherit her estate. All of it. $47 billion. The laugh that escapes Kendra's mouth sounds hysterical even to her own ears. That's insane. That's not real. This is some kind of scam. Dr. Okafor pulls documents from the folder. Medical records with official letterheads. Legal papers with gold seals. Photographs of Vivienne in the hospital, wearing a hospital gown, looking frail, but alert. It's real, Kendra. All of it. Kendra's legs give out. She slides from the chair to the floor, her back against the wall. The cold linoleum seeps through her jeans. 47 billion. The number is meaningless. She can't buy groceries without counting coins. She wears her dead mother's clothes. Their heater has been broken for 2 weeks. Kendra? Terrell kneels beside her, his hand on her arm. His voice breaks through the static in her head. Does this mean we can fix the heater? The question is so simple, so immediate, so perfectly Terrell that Kendra almost laughs again. Or cries. She's not sure which. Dr. Okafor kneels too, her expensive coat pooling on their dirty floor. Vivienne wants to meet you. She's in hospice care at a private facility in Evanston. She doesn't have much time left, maybe weeks, maybe less. She pauses. Will you come? Kendra looks at her brother's face, at the photograph of her mother on the wall, at the broken heater and the empty kitchen and the life they have been barely surviving. Yes, she whispers. I'll come. 2 days later, Dr. Okafor drives them north in the Mercedes. Kendra watches Chicago blur past the window. Her city, suddenly foreign. The hospice facility is all glass and quiet money. Their footsteps echo down a hallway that smells like lavender and expensive carpet cleaner. Dr. Okafor stops at a door, turns to face them. She's been waiting for you. The door opens, and there, sitting up in a hospital bed, wearing Kendra's mother's navy coat over her hospital gown, is Vivienne Cross. The woman in the hospital bed is wearing her mother's coat. Kendra stops breathing. The navy fabric drapes over Vivienne Cross's thin shoulders. The frayed cuffs visible where her pale hands rest on the white blanket. The missing button Mama always meant to replace. The safety pin Kendra added last winter when the zipper broke. Come in, Vivienne says. Her voice is soft, ravaged by illness but clear. Please. Kendra's feet move without permission. Terrell stays close behind her, his hand gripping the back of her sweatshirt. Dr. Okafor closes the door with a quiet click. Vivienne's eyes are the blue of deep water, sharp despite the hollows beneath them. She looks at Kendra the way Mama used to look at her after a hard shift, like she's seeing something precious. I wanted to return this to you, Vivienne says, touching the coat's collar. But I've been selfish. It's the warmest thing I've felt in 6 months. She begins to shrug it off, wincing with the effort. Keep it. Kendra's voice cracks. Please, it looks better on you. Vivienne's hands still. Her eyes fill with tears. Those were your exact words. In the subway. Before you disappeared. Kendra nods. She can't speak around the tightness in her throat. Sit. Vivienne gestures to the chairs beside her bed. Both of you. I need to explain. They sit. The room smells like antiseptic and something floral, probably from the vase of white roses on the windowsill. Outside, snow falls past the glass in lazy spirals. I built my company from nothing, Vivienne begins. I was 23, broke. Living in a studio apartment with 2 roommates, I had an idea for artificial intelligence software that could predict system failures before they happened. Everyone said it was impossible. She smiles faintly. I proved them wrong. Within 10 years, I was a millionaire. Within 20, a billionaire. Terrell shifts in his chair. Kendra stays frozen, watching Vivienne's face. But wealth changed everyone around me. My friends wanted investments. My family wanted handouts. Every relationship became transactional. People saw my bank account before they saw me. She pauses, her breathing labored. When the cancer diagnosis came 6 months ago, I realized I had no one. No children, no partner. No one who loved me for anything but my money. That's when you decided to live on the streets, Dr. Okafor says quietly from her position near the door. I needed to know if goodness still existed when there was no reward for it. Vivienne continues. So I disappeared. Stopped bathing, wore donated clothes, slept in shelters and subway stations. I wanted to see how people treated me when I was powerless. Her voice hardens. Most looked through me like I was glass. Some were cruel. Kicked me, spat on me, told me to get a job. Kendra thinks of the businessman who stepped over Vivienne's legs that night. The teenagers who laughed. Then you appeared? Vivienne's tears spill over. You gave me the coat off your back on the coldest night of the year. You didn't hesitate. You didn't ask questions. You just saw someone suffering and acted. She reaches out, her hand trembling. You reminded me what matters. Kendra takes her hand. The skin is paper thin, cold despite the heated room. If you had all the resources in the world, Vivienne asks, what would you do? The answer comes immediately, clear as glass. I'd fix my neighborhood. We need affordable housing that doesn't have mold and broken heaters. The schools need computers that actually work, teachers who are paid enough to stay. The community center closed last year because of funding cuts. Kids need safe places to go after school. Her words accelerate. I'd fund scholarships for families like mine. Create job training programs. Make sure no one has to choose between medicine and groceries. Vivienne weeps openly now. You're exactly who I've been searching for. The door slams open. A man strides in, tall and sharp in a charcoal suit that probably costs more than Kendra's rent. His face is red, his jaw clenched. This is insane, Aunt Vivienne. His voice fills the room like smoke. She's a child. She's manipulating you. Preston. Vivienne's voice transforms, steel beneath the frailty. Get out. I'm your family. Preston moves closer to the bed, ignoring Kendra completely. I'm your nephew. You're leaving everything to some stranger who probably stalked you, found out who you were, staged the whole thing. Preston Cross. Vivienne sits straighter despite the obvious pain. You've proven my point perfectly. Leave. Now. I'll fight this. His hands are fists. Undue influence. Diminished capacity. I'll tie this up in court for years. She'll never see a penny. Dr. Okafor, Vivienne says calmly. Security, please. Preston points at Kendra as 2 uniformed guards appear. This isn't over. The room feels larger after he's gone, colder. I'm sorry you had to see that, Vivienne whispers. That night, Kendra walks Terrell home from the bus stop. The street light on their corner is broken again, casting their block in shadow. She's fumbling for her keys when a figure steps from beside the dumpster. Preston Cross. No suit now, just an expensive coat and fury. $5 million, he says without preamble. Cash. Walk away from the inheritance. Sign a document saying you renounce any claim. Kendra's heart hammers. $5 million. They could live on that forever. This isn't about money, she hears herself say. This is about what your aunt believed in. You have no idea what you're turning down. His smile is cruel. The lawyers, the media attention, the scrutiny. Every mistake you've ever made will be public. Every friend will be questioned. They'll destroy you. Do what you have to do. Kendra's voice shakes but holds. Preston leans close. His breath smells like expensive scotch. I'll make sure everyone knows you're a fraud. I'll destroy you. He disappears into the darkness. Inside, Kendra locks 3 deadbolts with numb fingers. Terrell is already asleep on the couch. Her phone buzzes. A news alert. Teenage girl scams dying billionaire. The Vivienne Cross controversy. Her phone explodes with notifications. News sites, social media. Her name everywhere. By morning, the vans are outside. The reporters find her outside Lincoln High, cameras thrusting into her face like weapons. Did you target Vivienne Cross? How does it feel to manipulate a dying woman? What's your response to fraud allegations? Kendra pushes through, backpack clutched to her chest. Inside, the whispers follow her down hallways. Gold digger. Scam artist. Fake. Her phone explodes with notifications. Strangers dissecting her life, posting her address, threatening her brother. Mr. Chen won't meet her eyes when she arrives for her shift. The grocery store feels different. Hostile. Customers stare. I can't have this circus at my store, he says finally, envelope in his weathered hands. Her final paycheck. I'm sorry, Kendra. I truly am. She understands. Doesn't make the walk home any easier. Terrell tries to hide it, angling his face away when she comes through the door. But she sees. The swollen purple around his left eye, the split in his lip. Who? Her voice cracks. Kids at school. Said you were a liar. Said... His voice breaks. I told them they were wrong. Kendra sinks to the floor, back against the door, all the strength draining out. This is all my fault. I should have just kept walking. I should have... Don't say that. Terrell sits beside her. You did the right thing. But right doesn't pay rent. Right doesn't stop reporters from camping outside their building. Right doesn't protect her little brother from getting beaten up defending her name. She calls Dr. Okafor with shaking hands. I can't do this anymore. I just want it to stop. Tell them I don't want the money. Tell them I renounce everything. Please. Dr. Okafor arrives within an hour, still in scrubs from the hospital. She holds Kendra while she cries, says nothing, just lets her break. Then she produces a cream-colored envelope, sealed with red wax. Vivienne's handwriting across the front. For Kendra, when the test comes. She knew, Dr. Okafor whispers. She knew exactly what would happen. Kendra's hands tremble opening it. The letter inside is 3 pages. Vivienne's elegant script. My dear Kendra, if you're reading this, someone is trying to break you. This is the real test. Not the coat, not the cold night, but this moment right now. Goodness isn't rewarded immediately. It's attacked, questioned, doubted. The world punishes what it doesn't understand, but I need you to hold on. I need you to remember why you gave that coat. Not for recognition, not for reward. because it was right. Because someone was cold, and you weren't willing to let that stand. That impulse, that reflexive kindness, it's rarer than you know. Don't let them take it from you. Kendra's tears blur the words. She blinks, keeps reading. Preston will come after you. He's been embezzling from my company for 3 years. I have evidence, bank records, emails, falsified reports. I've been building the case, waiting. Dr. Okafor knows where everything is. When he attacks you, attack back. Not with cruelty, but with truth. Show the world who he really is. Dr. Okafor opens her briefcase. Manila folders, thick with documents. She knew he would come after you. She prepared for it. The evidence goes to federal prosecutors that night. By morning, Preston Cross is in handcuffs on every news channel. Fraud, embezzlement, witness intimidation. The narrative shifts so fast, Kendra gets whiplash. 2 weeks later, she sits beside Vivienne's hospice bed, holding her hand. The machines beep softly. Vivienne's eyes open, clear despite the morphine. "Thank you," she whispers, "for reminding me what it means to be human." She dies peacefully an hour later. Kendra weeps, wearing the navy coat Vivienne insisted she take back, the fabric still smelling faintly of her mother's lavender soap. The press conference happens 1 month later at the Palmer House Hotel. Dr. Okafor announces the Cross Legacy Initiative. Kendra speaks for 3 minutes, voice steady, honoring both Vivienne and Lorraine Washington. Cameras flash like stars. 1 year later, the Cross Legacy Community Center opens where an abandoned factory once stood. Floor-to-ceiling windows flood basketball courts with light. Computer labs hum with activity. The job training center already has a waiting list. Above the entrance, brass letters. The Lorraine Washington Center for Community Transformation. A reporter asks, "What would you say to people who doubted you?" Kendra smiles. "I'd say thank you. Doubt makes you stronger." Evening settles over the neighborhood. Kendra sits on her apartment steps, wearing her mother's coat, watching kids play in the new park across the street. The streetlights work now, all of them. A girl approaches, maybe 8, shivering in a thin hoodie. Kendra doesn't hesitate. She removes the coat, drapes it over small shoulders. The girl's eyes widen. "Keep it. It's yours now." "But you'll be cold." "I have everything I need." The girl runs to her mother, both crying with gratitude. Terrell joins Kendra on the steps, hands her a sweatshirt. "You gave away Mama's coat again." "Yeah." Kendra pulls on the sweatshirt, watches the community center lights glow against the darkening sky. "But Mama's still here." She touches her heart. Children's laughter echoes through the street. Terrell leans against her shoulder. The cold doesn't feel so cold anymore.